The trailer for the next George Miller film, 3,000 Years of Longing, was released online this past week. A scholar goes on an unimaginable adventure when she encounters a djinn, hope I'm saying that correctly, who offers her 3 wishes in exchange for his freedom. Like I mentioned, this is directed and written by the one and only George Miller, who gave us Mad Max Fury Road and Happy Feet. And the stars Tilda Swinton and Idris Elba. Now, I remember when I mentioned this film as one of my most anticipated films of the summer last episode, I said, like, oh, how are they going to make this different from Aladdin? Right? Yeah, they've done that. They've already done that. They've already done that. This is not looking like the Aladdin knockoff like I originally thought possible. And this is another one, like Crimes of the Future. This just looks freaky beyond belief. And it feels very odd that something like this is coming from a man in his 70s. So.
Yeah. It's going to be a trip. And I remember when you mentioned it, and I was like, man, I haven't seen a trailer. And all of a sudden the trailer drops. I'm like, all right, this is the film Joe was talking about. It seems interesting from what he explained it, and I watched the trailer, and I was like, okay, I'm in. So, George Miller, absolutely love Mad Max Fury Road, love that movie. So, I'm really excited to see, but I'm also more interested and excited to see how he directs Idris Elba. Because Idris Elba has worked with a lot of different directors, and having him and George Miller, I think that will be something interesting, and I think George Miller can do something really interesting and different with Idris Elba compared to, Idris's other works. So I'm actually pretty excited to see how that dynamic works and, the direction and what Idris Elba takes with his character as well as the genie, because the genie seems pretty... He seems pretty freaky too, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm happy you mentioned Idris Elba because that's an interesting point as far as like what he'll do in this movie as opposed to the other work that he's done before. I feel like the most roles that I've seen him in, he's this very refined and stoic sort of character, whereas in this one he seems like he'll be much more expressive and flamboyant and explosive. So it'll be interesting to watch him tackle that sort of territory.
Yep, exactly. Which is why I'm so excited and interested in Idris Elba's part in this movie, because it was just it was odd to see him act in that way. Like you said, I'm used to him in stoic positions and roles and everything. So seeing him in this type of character is like, okay, this is different. I need to fixate my mind a bit for this movie. But yeah, this seems interesting. George Miller seems like he's got a very crazy mind of his, especially with this film. Tilda Swinton looks great. I'm really interested to see the dynamic between her and Idris Elba as well. So there's a lot of things going for it that I'm pretty interested and excited for.
Yeah, and something else I noticed too, this seems to have the same expressive color palette as Mad Max Fury Road. But I feel like a movie like this could end up having a scale even bigger than that of Fury Road. I really don't know where this is going, and I like that about this film. And I just know that when the time comes that I do see this film, I'm going to be weirded out. But it's going to be weird done very well.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. So I'm excited officially. Joe, you got me hooked onto this movie now. So I'm excited to see it.
You're welcome. So this movie hits theaters and only theaters. So it's something else I noticed about this trailer too. At the end it says that it's only going into movie theaters on August 31st. And I like the line only in theaters.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because again, that idea of going back more and more to the theaters and everything, transitioning out of the streaming only releases, going back to the movie theaters, and just bringing back movie theaters bigger and better than they had been over the last couple of years or so. I really do like that. That really makes me very happy. So for everybody that got a chance to watch this, whatever it is that you thought, I don't understand. I don't know how you could watch something like this and not have any thoughts whatsoever. So if you did, leave them wherever it is that you can.